We're talking with Vision Councillor Jeff Meggs, who is a supporter of the STIR program, which is a program designed to encourage developers to build market rental housing. Randy Helton is a member of West End Neighbours, a group that has grown out of opposition to some of the STIR program at least. And I welcome your calls to the topic, 604-280-9898. Alan, good morning.
Good morning.
Your thoughts?
I'm concerned that my understanding of this is that millions of dollars on each of these projects is being used to subsidize the developer, and the developer is able to charge market rents, which are the highest in the province in the West End. Wouldn't those millions of dollars from each project be better spent on subsidizing housing?
Jeff Meggs.
No, we're simply closing the gap that's there between what a developer would have to achieve to get any return at all on rental as opposed to condos. So we give them concessions in terms of parking. There's a number of other measures we do. We try to move the project forward faster, and we may waive DCLs, which is the smallest part. But we're not writing any checks. We're giving up a little bit of revenue, giving up a little bit of parking, and doing whatever we can to tweak his plan to bring his cost down to the point where market rental is possible. So there's not a big slug of money leaving the city to subsidize developers.
Well, in the Bidwell project, council said that it was subsidizing $130,000 per rental unit, which basically pays the builder's cost to build those things.
No, there was
that cost. One of the councillor and
sorry, Mr. Meggs.
Well, Councillor Anton was of the view that it was $130,000. That's not my view. The value of the concessions that are given to the developer, and that's not a check. That's ways we try to cut the red tape. That kind of thing, and move his business plan around. And it's done on a case-by-case basis so that there's no windfall for the developer. Where they range, depending on the project, between $45,000 and $65,000. But that's not cash that we write as a check and send out to them. It's ways we try to reduce their costs in the manner I've described.
But as I understand it, it's a way to encourage a developer to build market rental housing rather than condos, which would sell at market price, which is very dear in this city.
Precisely.
And Randy Helton, do you have a fundamental problem with that, with the concept? I mean, you may on an individual building basis or a zoning basis, but do you have any trouble with the concept of the city trying to encourage developers to restock parts of the city with rental housing?
Yes, but I still think it's the wrong medicine for the wrong problem. The STIR program was adopted through council, which the Vision Vancouver has 8 against 3 in voting. They rammed it through against opposition. They rammed through the Bidwell rezoning for a 21-story tower in December against opposition. The STIR program was adopted at the request of the development industry in 2009 without any public input. And I could just quote from the information sheet from the City of Vancouver that the STIR is a program to encourage construction of market rental housing and to create construction jobs in the response to the economic recession in 2009.
Is there something bad about that?
No, but the Vancouver Sun yesterday said that the recession is almost over. It's no longer necessary to use taxpayers' money to pay for market rental housing. We've got other issues like renovictions and affordable housing stuff. The STIR program does not address those.
Well, by building more market housing, does that not reduce the likelihood of renovictions?
Not really. Actually, last night at the public hearing, Councillor Meggs heard the spokesperson from the Carnegie Center, I believe.
Yeah.
Actually, ironically, it's West Bank Projects and Gregory Enriquez paired up. They did the Woodwards project, and they're paired up also on 1401 Comox, which is a site of a 100-year-old church. The next one to go to council in a few weeks. But she was saying that they didn't realize before the Woodwards project what was going to happen, but they found actually rents have gone up. Low-income people are being forced out of the neighborhood, and it's actually very toxic for the community. I think STIR is toxic for communities.
Jeff Meggs?
Well, I don't know where to begin. I mean, Gene Swanson spoke about the Woodwards project, which I think has been transformational for the downtown east side. We are protecting social housing down there, and I just disagree with Jean, with the greatest respect to her long activism, on the Woodwards project as being a threat to the area. I think it's been very, very visionary. And West Bank also did the Shaw Tower, also did the
Shangri-La.
They're one of the most powerful developers in the city.
They're not. They don't have to do anything that doesn't make a ton of money. They've shown they can build projects that make a ton of money. It's not clear to me they're going to make a ton of money here if this is ever approved. And so this was not done at the request of developers. In my view, I supported it because it was done the STIR program at the request of voters, especially tenants. And we tried to find what we could do, and in addition to many other things we've done around affordable housing, to take action on that front. And Randy says, well, it doesn't answer all these other problems. And, of course, we are seized to those problems, too, and have to come to grips with them. What I would prefer to focus on is how we can have a development system in the city which meets the city's broad community needs while respecting the concerns and the issues at the neighborhood level. I think that's the problem we're really discussing here.
Laurie, good morning.
Anything to do with the STIR program.
Laurie, good morning.
Hello. Excuse me. My name is Laurie, and there's a lot of concerns, so I'm just going to be really brief on a few of them. Number one, they keep talking about the rental needs, and I find it confusing because the market rates are quite high, I think $2,400 a month, which if you look at the low interest rates right now, you could get a mortgage and afford to buy a condo if you can afford to pay that kind of rent. The second point is that I don't think that the rentals are really in as much need. The kind of rentals they need are low rent, not market rent. If you walk down West 12th Avenue 5 blocks, you'll find 5 buildings, all with multiple vacancies.
But, Laurie, no developer is going to build low rental buildings.
That's my point. There's no development that is needed in this particular specific area in the West End. The West End is extremely dense. The six-story zoning limit where the church was, for example, at 1401, the proposal is to replace it with a 22-story building that will destroy the views of those who wanted to move to the West End for the view.
Well, so this is about views.
This is not just about views. This is about parking concessions, for example, that Mr. Meg mentioned. What does that mean? Well, if you have a building with 190 families, but you only have 80 parking spots, where do those other 110 families park?
Well, many of them won't have cars if they live in the West End. A lot of people walk, take the bus. Isn't that part of the attraction of living in the West End? I'm going to give Jeff Meggs the last word on this because we only have about 30 seconds left. But I'm remain as confused as I was when we started, and I think people are confusing the need for subsidized housing with the need or desire to create more rental housing rather than total market housing. You're trying to create housing for people who can afford perhaps market rents but don't have the money to buy a high-priced condominium.
Exactly. We can only do what is possible for us to do, and I don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good here. I'd love a program that was affordable to taxpayers, that provided all the amenities and cheap rental housing and subsidies. I'd love to do all that. We just don't have the dough. What we've done here is do something that other cities have not achieved, and they're looking at us to see how we pan out.
I have to break. My thanks to Jeff Meggs and to Randy Helton, but I'm late for the break, and the news headlines next.